హే గాయ్స్, వెల్కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు సోమేష్ వ్లాగ్స్ ఇన్ యూఎస్ఏ. సో ఈరోజు వ్లాగ్లో మనము ఒక డిఫరెంట్ వెహికల్ చూద్దాము. దాన్ని ఆర్వీ అంటారు. సో బేసిక్గా ఆర్వీ అనేది ఒక ట్రక్ లాగా ఉంటుంది అనమాట. సో ఇట్స్ డ్రైవబుల్ ఆర్వీ. అది ఈ లాంగ్ వీకెండ్కి ఆర్వీ బుక్ చేసాము. సో ఆల్మోస్ట్ 4 nights బుక్ చేసామన్నమాట. సో ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళి ఆర్వీ పికప్ చేసుకోవాలి. నన్ను పిక్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఫ్రెండ్స్ వస్తున్నారు. ఇక్కడ నుంచి సబర్బ్స్ అనమాట, ఆల్మోస్ట్ 40 miles డిస్టెన్స్లో ఉంది. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మేము ఆర్వీ పికప్ చేసుకొని రావాలి. అప్ అండ్ డౌన్ 1 hour పడుతుంది, డౌన్ 1 hour పడుతుంది. ఓవరాల్గా 2 hours పడుతుంది మాకు ఆర్వీ తీసుకొని రావడానికి. వన్స్ ఆర్వీ తీసుకొచ్చాక ఇక్కడ పార్క్ చేసి నేను ఆర్వీ టూర్ చేస్తాను. ఆర్వీ ఎలా ఉందనేది మనం ఈ వ్లాగ్లో చూద్దాము. నాతో పాటు మీరు కూడా వచ్చేసేయండి. సో ఇదే అనమాట ఆర్వీ. సో ఆర్వీ తీసుకొచ్చేసాము. సో ఆర్వీ మనకి పర్ డేకి 175 లాగా పడింది. సో ఓవరాల్గా 4 nightsకి 1396 పడింది. సో దట్ ఇంక్లూడ్స్ ట్యాక్స్ అండ్ ట్యాక్స్ వచ్చేసి ఇంక్లూడ్ అవుతుంది అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్. సో ట్యాక్స్ అండ్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ వచ్చేసి ఇవే మనకి 496 అయినాయి. సో ఓవరాల్గా చూసుకుంటే మనకి ఆర్వీకి పడింది 1400 పడింది అనుకుందాము. అప్రాక్సిమేట్లీ 1400 చేంజ్ పడింది. అండ్ ఇందులో జనరేటర్ ఉంది, ప్రోపేన్ ఉంది అండ్ ఇంకేంటంటే బట్ పర్ డే లిమిట్ ఉందన్నమాట. పర్ డే లిమిట్ వచ్చేసి మనకి మైల్స్లో 100 miles పర్ డే లిమిట్. అండ్ జనరేటర్ 4 hours యూస్ చేయాలి, ప్రోపెన్ రీఫిల్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఎక్స్ట్రా జనరేటర్ వాడితే ఎక్స్ట్రా పే చేయాలన్నమాట. సో అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ 400 miles, 4 nightsకి 400 miles కదా, బియాండ్ దట్ మనం ఒకవేళ ట్రావెల్ చేస్తే ఈచ్ మైల్కి 60 cents లాగా ఛార్జ్ చేస్తారనమాట. సో ఇది బేసిక్గా మనం బుకింగ్ అండ్ ఎక్సెట్రా గురించి. ఇది నేను వచ్చేసి rvshare.comలో బుక్ చేశాను. సో అక్కడికి ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళి పికప్ చేసుకున్నాము. సో వాళ్ళు మనకి ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఒక 40 minutes వరకు ఓరియంటేషన్ ఇచ్చారు. ఎలా యూస్ చేయాలి, ఎలా డ్రైవ్ చేయాలి, వాటర్ ఎలా ఫిల్ చేయాలి, ఎలా డ్రైన్ చేయాలి అనేది ఇచ్చారనమాట. సో అది చూద్దాము నెక్స్ట్. అది కూడా ఉంది ఆల్రెడీ మనకి. సో ఇదనమాట. సో ఆర్వీ లుక్ మాత్రం అమేజింగ్గా ఉంది. ఫస్ట్ టైం ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కాబట్టి చాలా ఎగ్జైటెడ్గా ఉంది. ఆర్వీ చూస్తుంటేనే మంచి ఒక మినీ మొబైల్ హౌస్ లాగా ఉంది కదా. సో చాలా ఫన్నీగా ఉంది, మస్త్ ఎగ్జైటింగ్. అండ్ ఇంకా ట్రిప్ మొత్తం జింపిచాకనే ఇంకా మస్త్ ఫన్ ఉంది యాక్చువల్గా. సో అండ్ ఫ్రీజర్ వచ్చేసి మనకి ప్రోపెన్తో రన్ అవుతుంది. సో ఫ్రిడ్జ్ ప్రోపెన్తో రన్ అవుతుంది అండ్ ఏసీ వచ్చేసి జనరేటర్తో రన్ అవుతుంది. ఫ్రిడ్జ్, స్టవ్ వచ్చేసి ప్రోపెన్, ఏసీ అండ్ ఓవెన్, మన ల్యాప్టాప్ ఛార్జెస్, వాల్ ఛార్జెస్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో వాటికి జనరేటర్ యూస్ చేయాలి. సో ఇది వచ్చేసి ఆటోమేటిక్ గేర్ కూడా. సో ఇది మనకి లోపలికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
It is a 2008 Tioga, so she does have some weathering and sun damage to her. As we can see, some of the clear coating up front is peeling off. Much like a rental place, there are some dings and scrapes, and we would love for it not to have more dings and scrapes and things, but if it happens, it does happen. As long as it's not a major thing, we're probably not going to worry about it too much. Little things do happen, little scrapes do happen. We're aware of things like this, little chips in the paint. Not the end of the world. We'd love for more not to be added, but it is what it is. This first compartment we have right here is going to be our spare tire as well as our propane tank. It currently is about half full. The exterior gauge is going to read different than the interior gauge. The reason for that is that you never fill a propane tank more than 80% full. Reason for that is expansion. If you were to fill it full and it were hot out, it would expand, it would explode. That would not be good. So 80% here is going to read full in there.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you get two different readings. Right now this reads a little bit above a quarter. Inside it reads a half.
Okay.
So should we fill that now or?
We ask that it comes back with the same amount that it goes out with. The things that use propane are going to be the stove, the hot water heater, and if you're not plugging into power or running the generator, the refrigerator will use propane.
So refrigerator also uses the propane.
Refrigerator uses the propane as well if you don't have the generator running or if you're not plugged into power. So right now we have the power cord plugged into the house.
Okay.
So the refrigerator is currently on, but it's not using propane. It's just using the house power.
So for an example, now we were driving. Let's assume we are driving now.
Yep.
So it will not have the electricity, right? So
Yep.
how it works? So it takes.
automatically switches over. It's an auto-sensing situation.
Uh,
There are a couple buttons on the panel, but basically you don't have to press anything, do
Mm-hmm.
anything, touch anything. It's set for auto, and so it's going to sense the best situation for its power needs. So if you were to plug into shore power, it senses that and it switches over automatically. You start the generator, it senses that, it switches over automatically. Both those are off the table. It knows that. Exterior speaker and sound system. You've also got exterior plug if you have the generator running. All of the household outlets only work if you're plugged into shore power or if the generator is running. Okay? They're not 12 volts, so the batteries aren't going to do anything for them.
Okay.
This is your hot water heater exhaust. This is your furnace exhaust. So if you're running you're probably not going to be running the furnace unless you're going somewhere really cold at night. Hot water heater, just be aware, leaning things, putting things in front of it like that, because if you turn that on, this is going to be spewing out 200 degrees of exhaust.
Okay.
So don't want to melt anything, leaning against it, touching it, things like that. In here is the freshwater potable tank, and then here is your fill hose, and there is a filter right there as well that can be connected to the hose. When you are done with this, if you're adding water to the tank or if you're connecting to a potable source, are you guys going to a campground or?
We are.
Okay, so if they have a potable water hookup, you can take that hose and connect it directly to their hookup.
Okay.
And on the other side, I'll show you, you can directly connect the RV to that hose. But when you're done, please go ahead and connect the hose back onto itself so we can avoid when you're filling the tank. You don't have to. If you're coming back, you don't need to bring it back full. Use whatever you want. But just be aware that the tank is only 40 gallons.
40 gallons. Okay.
So, that sounds like a lot until you start taking a shower or washing your hands or doing dishes or whatever you're going to be doing. And then it turns into not quite so much pretty quick. This little latch right here only really works if you turn it to the right.
Okay.
If you try turning it to the left, it doesn't like you. So turn it to the right to lock,
Turn it to the right.
turn it to
go.
the right
Okay.
to unlock. In here, this is kind of our utility closet. Got a couple things going on in here. Wheel chocks. Someone left some charcoal. Someone left a little grill, apparently. This is my utility tub.
Okay.
In here, there are usually some power adapters, like
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
And then this is a pressure reducer if you're hooking up to a towing anything. But we have the tow hitch back here, right? You're not planning on towing anything?
No.
Okay. There is a backup camera. We'll talk more about that later. Regular unleaded gas. These days, just about all gas stations are tall enough that you don't have to worry. It's about 12 feet tall.
12 feet. Okay, so directly we can go inside the gas station. So it goes a diesel or gas?
It's regular unleaded
Regular
gas.
Okay. How many gallons the capacity of the tank?
It is a 55-gallon tank.
What is the mileage, approximate mileage it gives for the full tank? Or else at least for a gallon?
It gets usually 5 to 8 miles to the gallon, depending on what you're doing.
Okay.
I mean, if you're running the generator, if you're going uphill, if you have a lot of weight in it, full water, full tanks, everything, luggage, I mean, that's all going to decrease your mileage. If,
Oh.
you can get optimal mileage if you're got no weight in the tanks, no extra passengers, no extra, so it just depends on how much you load it up.
Okay.
There is a sewage hose in there. That is the backup sewage hose. So don't worry about that, but it is there. This is the generator, hopefully you don't have to come back in here. Where are you guys headed?
Glacier National Park.
Okay, so you are going to
Montana.
a little bit of altitude. So then right here is an altitude adjustment if you need to run the generator at altitude.
Okay.
So right now it's probably something like 2,000 feet set.
Okay.
You can see 5,000 and all the way up is 10,000. And it's just a knob that turns, you know, no biggie. So if you are up at altitude and it's having a hard time, you might need to tweak that a little bit.
Okay.
The only other reason you might have to come in here is if you say you left for the day, but you left everything on, like the AC, the TV, I don't know, whatever. You left a lot of power things on, but you just turned the generator off.
Okay.
You come back, you turn the generator on,
Oh, you
it
can-
tries to pick
yeah.
up all that load all at
Right.
once. Right here inside is the breaker switch. You might
Oh.
pop that.
Okay.
So if that guy's back toward the center of the RV, that's popped.
Okay.
So it's just pull it
Yeah. And
right out. Good to go. The generator.
So on the generator, so we have to come in here or no?
no.
Okay.
No. There are multiple control switches for the generator. It's recently got a new air filter, recently got oil change, recently had a fuel filter change, recently had a new starter put in. So she's pretty refreshed. Alrighty. This is our black water and gray water tank, as well as you have an outdoor shower here.
Okay.
And then the city water connection, what I was talking about,
Yeah.
connecting that hose. If you're at a campsite, make sure you have the pressure reducer
Yep.
in there. The other thing that's in here is going to be that guy, that power receptacle right there.
Okay.
Right now, our power cord is going to the extension cord to the house.
Okay.
Before we leave, we're going to want to disconnect that and plug it back into here.
Okay.
If that power cord is not plugged into here and you try and start the generator, you're not going to get. We're going to go ahead and pull
Okay.
on the valve, open up, let it drain. You might have to walk it out a little bit.
Yep.
There are gloves on board to do all this with. Once you're drained, go ahead and close. And then what I would recommend is draining your gray water tank afterwards to help flush out the hose. I find, like I was talking about propanes, go to light, give it a second for the propane to get there. Same thing, you know, no biggie. Are you planning on using the oven at all?
No.
No,
Okay.
Not.
All right.
not really. But
It's-
we'll use the microwave.
Yeah, no worries.
And this one.
Microwave again is going to be a generator or plugged into power thing.
Okay.
So the second you turn on the generator, it'll turn on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So up here, you kind of have a little control panel going on, some switches and things. These are push button. So if I press that guy, we can see that our water tank is full. If I press this guy, we can see that our black water or our gray water tank is empty, black water tank is empty, propane is half full, main battery full, auxiliary battery full. Our water pump, the red light is lit, correct? So that means our water pump is on. It's an on-demand system, so it's only going to give you water when you ask for it.
So if we turn off, there is.
You'll not get water.
So if you turn it off, what's going to happen
Oh, okay.
is that the system's going to lose pressure. You turn it back on, you heard that little that's the pump building the pressure back up in the system. You can have multiple faucets, shower going at once, but again, 40 gallons goes pretty quick.
Yep.
So
So we have to
the
fill,
more you have,
refill.
yeah. If you're plugged in at the campsite,
Yep.
you want to turn the pump off.
Okay, so that directly flows.
It's going to take water directly from the
Directly
city
from-
system. If you
okay.
leave it on and you're plugged in,
This
it's
one
going to try and
keeps
take
refilling.
from the tank at the same time,
Fill
and
into the
it's
tank. Okay.
it gets all screwy.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it. So we want to leave that on. Yep, All right. The water heater. I'll go ahead and turn that on. Just gonna turn that fan off so we can hear what's going on since you're recording. So you can hear right now
Yeah.
that
Sound?
it's firing. If there's an issue, if it doesn't start firing like that, and once the water heats up, it's going to be an intermittent. It's going to turn on and off to keep the water at temp. Takes about 10, 15 minutes. It's a 6-gallon water heater. But once it heats up, yeah, you'll hear it off, on. When you're done,
Off it.
turn it off. If for some reason it has a fault light come on, turn it off, give it a second to clear, try it again.
Okay.
Okay. Just be aware that as long as this is turned on, usually propane is coming out.
Okay.
I had someone leave it on for like 15-20 minutes while they were trying to troubleshoot it, and all of a sudden there was a giant fireball
Oh.
because they finally got it to work. It's like, okay, cool, right on, guys. The auxiliary battery switch is a no touch.
Okay.
If you happen to bump, if everything stops working,
Okay.
someone might have bumped that. That's a long-term storage. It disconnects the batteries from the RV. Nothing will work
Okay.
if that is turned off. So,
పిల్లల్ని దూరం పెట్టాలి వీటికి.
kind of coming back to the galley area, you do have a fan. It is automatic. You can change it, turn it off, turn it on. When you close it, it has a sensor that it will
Nice.
automatically shut off. That does need to be closed and secured when the RV is in motion. Otherwise, you can rip the hatch off.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Anything that is in the galley area is fair game. If it is edible, we didn't provide it. Someone else left it. So, cups, bowls, plates. If you have any cleaning needs, there are a couple rolls of paper towels. Please do not use the linens, like the bath towels or stuff, to clean up messes. We've had to replace quite a few of them, and it just gets expensive after a while. Little coffee maker, coffee press, another roll
So
of
just a
paper
weird
towels.
question. So to use everything here, like in the kitchen area, so we need to have a generator on or the propane on. So propane, right?
Propane.
Propane should be on to use the stove.
Well, you're not going to be turning the propane off.
Okay.
It will be on
On
only.
itself.
The,
Okay.
the
When you
ol-
use,
usually
it
the
will-
only times that the propane gets turned off is when they're filling.
Okay.
That's a little reservation notice. Yeah, usually the only time the propane gets turned off is when they're filling, or if you happen to take a Washington State ferry, they
okay.
will turn that off.
Okay.
Other than that, there's no.
So
I don't
let's
have
say
to see
are we are in driving motion, right? So still we can use a stove.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yep.
Silverware. Do. We try and keep it stocked like we were going somewhere. So pull on the door handles to open up. This is a brand new fridge. The old one just died and had to replace this guy.
Okay.
So like I was talking about,
Okay.
you turn it on,
Okay.
you set it to auto, you don't have to touch it.
Oh.
Okay.
It's gonna sense where it needs to be and what it needs to do.
So this runs with the generator.
No.
It will run with the generator, it runs with
Propane.
propane, or it
Okay.
runs on
మన
shore
జనరేటర్ ఆన్ చేసినప్పుడు జనరేటర్ రన్ అవుతుంది పెట్టినప్పుడు అది లేదంటే ప్రోపేన్.
Okay.
all of the lights are LED. Swapped out all of them on board, even the old style ones and these things. Also, all of the lights are individually controllable.
ఓకే.
Kind of nice. Kind of sucks when you want to go to bed. Them all. The only one that is not going to be individually controllable is this guy. And the reason for that, I say that, is that it's got linens, towels. Probably are only going to dump the once when you get back, so don't worry about it. That just helps digest and keep us smelling fresh. Alrighty. Bath mat, shower, Nice little skylight so you don't have to have the light on. This unfortunately has broken. Kind of works. Okay. This one can be left open.
Oh, it can be left open. Okay.
There is a cover over it. Rain, shine, doesn't matter unless it's getting cold. Yeah, okay, you know, I think I know what that needs. I'm gonna try and fix that before you guys leave. We have a fair bit of stuff. At the end of your trip, whatever you do use, please just like kind of pile it up and put it maybe up on the forward bed or something so we know that it's dirty. Right behind you in that closet space is a vacuum if you need it. As well as some storage space, and it takes a little bit of pull to get it to pop.
Okay.
And you got that right there. And this guy. So what we're gonna do is lift that straight up.
This does not come out.
Yep. Take that out. Might have to wiggle it a little bit to lift it. There you go. We'll go ahead. Remove the cushions.
Oh, okay. You need to pull it out.
And then we take our tabletop.
Oh,
Oh.
that's
నేను పుల్ చేయాలని దాంట్లోనే ఉంది.
Playing card. And then we take our cushions.
I think we can leave this like this, and we have that extra table which we can keep here.
So that table is literally just
Small one, that's fine. Because the kids are there, we can leave them here.
Just let it be with the stand only. Later we will do it.
honestly I usually put the kids up there out of the way.
Okay.
But
No.
whatever you
Yeah,
guys
yes,
want to
yes.
do. So that is how that's done. Yep.
And
Worrying about anything. Second thing is we want to make sure the parking brake is engaged. Parking brake needs to be engaged for the slat outs to go in or out.
Okay.
Otherwise they're not going to do anything. I can see that our parking brake is engaged.
Okay.
So there are two controls, one for the front, one for the rear. This is our front, out, in, press and hold.
Oh,
And it will kind of lift and suck up when it's done. Same thing with going out. When you get to wherever you're going to be, go outside, make sure there's no small children, rocks, dogs, trees.
So in
stumps.
driving, we cannot keep this out.
No.
No. Okay.
Must
you
be-
cannot see back.
Well, you'd be sideswiping people, and the vehicle's weight would be uneven, and
Got it.
that's no bueno. I mean, if you need to move it like a foot, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's this
But-
smell?
A little bit of gas.
Gas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's from the vehicle.
Hmm?
Where
It's
is
from
this
the
coming
engine,
from?
right? It's from the engine.
From the engine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The exhaust is
Okay.
5 feet
Oh.
this way outside.
Okay, okay.
So it's just kind of wafting back in, unfortunately, right now. Same thing going out. A little bit slower, but it will. As long as nothing's in the way, you've cleared everything out, you'll see it kick out a little bit at the end, and it'll stop on its own.
They won't do it. Oh, but it's good.
Pretty much the same thing with the one in the rear. Got this right here. The only difference is coming in, this one has a little bit of a funky thing going on with the switch. If you press it all the way down, it overshoots the contact
Okay.
and it won't work. So anywhere from, see, I pressed it all the way down, it's not
okay, slow.
working.
Okay.
But if I press it quarter, half, 3/4, it works just fine.
Got it. So if you want to keep, then we can keep.
Going out, no problems.
No okay.
Doesn't overshoot the contacts or anything like that. So no
Okay.
moving them around. These windows, please leave closed.
Okay.
People have screwed them up trying to use them, and the tracks are all messed up. Go ahead and start the generator, actually, if you wouldn't mind again. So press and hold till it catches. See how it came up a lot faster that time? It's been used, it's warmed, it's primed. So, all right. So let's say it is hot. We're gonna go up to cool. We're gonna go to auto, or you can just leave it on, whatever you want. But auto, you know, it's gonna sense the need as it, and we're gonna drop our thermostat down. All of your AC supply is gonna be coming through the ceiling. So the vents on the ceiling are what's gonna be supplying. There are some back here as well.
Yep.
And we can feel the cold air if we put our hand up already coming through. If you want to check that one right there, right above you. Getting some cool air
Yeah.
coming through. Yep. Okay, great. If you want to just lower it a little bit and then grab.
That's it? No.
It's not binding. Someone, I think. Oh, okay, I know what's going on.
Pulling now.
Crap. And we can lock it and go ahead and do the same thing on the other side.
So usually, right? So can we park the RV in the rest areas and in any other parkings, or is there any specific place where we have to park the vehicle?
What do we do after I pull this out?
The rest areas will have RV and truck parking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, pull that. We're gonna have to. All right, good. Just turning around. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back out. And then tighten this guy back. What's up? What up? Yeah, someone hit this and that selector switch, and that's what's going on. Is it's been knocked loose, unfortunately. Great. Get to place the awning again.